Hey everybody, we are here predicting the NFL playoffs for the 2026 season. We are so excited for them, we can't wait. And we just thought we would do this little exercise to see how good we are at predicting the playoffs.
Yeah, earlier on we actually predicted them with our beats.
Yep.
We did a challenge where you pick a team and then the other person gives you a rhythmic phrase to hit, and if you miss a beat, that team loses. So you'll see that later in this video, so that was a bit of fun.
Yeah, but now we're going to do some proper deep analysis of what we actually think.
Because we're experts.
Now, of course we are. Disclaimer, we're very unbiased as well in our decisions.
Yeah.
Very unbiased. We know exactly what we're talking about and we don't have any agendas whatsoever. But we'll try and be we'll try and be as unbiased as possible. Okay, so we're diving in now. AFC, we've got the Patriots and Chargers. What are you thinking?
I think the Patriots are going to win this. I just think Herbert's a little bit injured. I know he's had a bit of rest because he rested against us.
Yeah.
Which was fair enough.
Their offensive line is absolutely torched as well. But Drake May hasn't been tested at all.
Well, Herbert has never won a playoff game either. I feel like the Chargers have been charging the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Actually, since they looked so good against the Chiefs week one.
Yeah.
Wasn't it week one?
And the Broncos week 2.
And the second week. And then from there, it's been up and down. But I think the Patriots are going to win that.
Yeah, I do think the Patriots are going to eke this one out. But I think that it's going to be really, really close. I just think the Patriots haven't actually seen too many good teams. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon of they haven't had a good schedule because you can only play the teams ahead of you. But
I think it's maybe vibes and a better record.
Yeah.
And momentum versus Harbaugh and Herbert.
Yeah.
So which one of those is going to win? It's hard to tell. I mean, the whole AFC and the NFL in general is wide open this year.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So I'm going to say Patriots.
Yeah, let's go Patriots. I agree. Next game, Jags, Bills. So this is obviously a tough one. We've got the MVP, or the reigning MVP, Josh Allen. Again, an injured team. They've been very up and down all season, the Bills. And I just don't know if saying out loud that I think Josh Allen is going to lose sounds so weird.
Yeah, he certainly has the most pressure on him, I think, out of the whole bracket. Because Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow are all gone home. They're all sitting at home.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win it this year, he's kicking himself. So the pressure's on him. Does that mean that he's going to have an unbelievable game and, as they say, put on the Superman cloak? Probably.
I don't think he's going to have a bad game, but I think the rest of the Bills could. And I think the Jags are going to win. I just think the Jags are on a different gravy right now.
Yeah, I see it being very, very tight. I think both teams are going to be in the 30s.
Yeah.
But let's go with Jags.
I think Jags. And then the last game in the AFC is the Texans and Steelers. And I just don't even know where to start here. There's a couple of things that are getting me. I don't know if you saw this during the week. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, has never in his career lost when he was playing on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
At home. And so he's at home playing on Monday Night Football. How over a 20-year span, how can you pick against that?
He's only lost twice playing on Monday night.
In general.
I think it's twice.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the Texans are more exciting. Yeah. I really like CJ Stroud. They have a great defense, obviously. They played us really close earlier in the season. And the Steelers don't really have that many weapons on paper. They have Gainwell has been great. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers.
DK
Metcalf is back. And then Tomlin and the home field advantage.
Are we going to see one of those swan songs? Is Rodgers just going to if he catches fire now, they've won 4 or 5. Is he going to catch fire and just win and retire on a win?
I do think the Steelers are going to win. I don't think they're going to go that far, but I think they're going to beat the Texans.
I think I agree.
So Steelers, Jags, and the Patriots AFC is done. The wild card round. So over to the NFC.
NFC. So the first game we're going to look at there is the Panthers and Rams. Again, what a great, your mind goes straight to, obviously the Rams are going to win. They've got likely the MVP, Matt Stafford. And again, he's just on a rip right now. going against a lower side, the Panthers, but Panthers have already beaten them this year. And they're on a tear.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's an easy enough one for me. I'm just going to say the Rams.
Yeah, Sean
They're
McVay in
too
the
powerful.
playoffs. Matt Stafford.
I
Let's
feel
go
bad
Rams.
for saying that against the Panthers, but I just don't think there's much of a chance.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go Rams. Next game then is the Packers and Bears. And I heard that it's going to be ridiculous weather. So I don't know whether that has anything to do with the outcome, but
Is that kind of a scratch though? Because both teams play in cold weather.
I guess both of them are used to it. I don't know. Does that favor the home team then? Is there going to be another double doink?
It's hard to it's hard to think that the Bears aren't going to mess it up somehow.
Yeah,
But they've
that's
been
true.
so much better this year.
They might just mess it up in the next round.
And yeah, Jordan Love has been a little bit up and down, a little bit in and out of injury. He had a concussion last week, didn't he?
Yeah, and Matthew has also been riddled with injuries with Jordan Love because he was his quarterback for the fantasy.
So annoying.
So he's a little bit annoyed about that.
I would bench him and he would play really well, and then I'd think, oh, he's playing really well. Let's put him back in.
He plays one quarter.
Three points, 1 quarter concussion.
Out you go.
So I have a sore spot, and actually, because of that, the Bears are going to win.
The Bears are
For
going to
me,
win.
anyways.
Let's go. Bears are going to win. Final matchup in the NFC is the Eagles and the 49ers.
Yeah, so this is a tough one. 49ers didn't look great last week, but
They were playing the best defense. I think this is the hardest matchup to think about all weekend.
I think the Eagles haven't been as explosive as they were last year and the year before, maybe. But it's so hard to bet against them. They're a pretty well-oiled machine when it comes to the playoffs. Like, Jalen Hurts hasn't been the greatest either.
No, but
he
he's
wins games.
Super Bowl MVP. You've got Saquon. You've got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Like, that's a serious team, and all it takes is for one good quarter for them to just light
And
it.
the 49ers are a bit riddled with injuries, so
You've
Eagles.
got this is really the toughest one for me.
Flip a coin.
I actually think this is a coin flip game. Like, maybe that loss for the 49ers is just going to give them that extra little punch, that extra little juice. Like, don't forget, they could be playing a home Super Bowl.
Yeah, true.
Still very rare. So I think that, it's a West Coast team traveling east, though. I think this game is going to come down to the last possession. And I think,
I think this is going to be a low scoring.
yeah,
Opposite to Bills Jags, this is going to be maybe in the 10s, I think,
yeah, it's going to be like 12-10.
or 18-16.
Someone is going to miss a kick in this game. Someone is going to miss a kick. And I think it's going to be the 49ers. So I think the Eagles are going to win.
All right, Eagles are through.
Let's go. So that's the NFC done for the wildcard weekend. So we've got the Rams going through, the Bears going through, and the Eagles going through.
Yeah.
So that'll be some tasty matchups in the divisional round. So on to the divisional round now. We've got some tasty matchups. I think the first game is going to be Steelers Broncos.
Yeah.
Let's attack the AFC first.
And then we have Jags Patriots.
Yeah.
So back to the Steelers Broncos. What do you think?
Obviously, it's hard to pick against our Broncos. I genuinely think we'll get the job done. I think Bo Nix is going to sort out the offensive woes, and whatever about Sean Payton holding plays back, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they were just in a rut, but
Yeah, if anyone was watching that last game for the Broncos, he basically didn't throw a pass past the line of scrimmage. It was
crazy.
It was just crazy. So they were clearly holding something back, which gives me a little bit of hope. And Bo has turned up when we needed him.
And we haven't even talked about the defense. I mean,
So-
I think the defense is going to be too much for Rodgers and the Steelers offense to handle. I think I'm a huge fan of that team. I love them, but I'm trying to take my bias aside. I do think the Broncos are going to win that game.
Yeah, and home field advantage. So
Broncos.
Okay, Patriots, Jags.
This is a tough one.
This is now maybe the toughest one yet for me, because Trevor Lawrence has lived up to his name finally
Well, finally.
this year. Have they won 8 in a row?
Yeah, 8 in a row.
And-
But interesting fact, a team that goes into the playoffs on that kind of a winning streak, I think it's 8 winning streak or more, is 0-13 over the last.
They've just never won the Super Bowl.
They've never won the Super Bowl. So I think the Jags could still make it through. I think, is that what you're saying? You think the Jags are going to win that game? It's in Gillette Stadium. It's a warm weather team going up to Gillette. That could be, I mean, talk about 2 more weeks from now.
I do think, actually, when you think about it, yeah. I think, could we have a Jags rematch going into Mile High?
I think we are. And I think, I don't know, like...
And it's hard to beat the team twice.
They're the team that I would like to play the least, which means I think they're going to win. I think the Jags are going to win.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on. That guy Washington, the receiver, oh my God. I think they're just too powerful. I think they're going to just get through. They've been on a tear. They've been in great form. And I know the vibes are high for both of these teams. So maybe it's down to a last possession game again, but Jags are going to go through there.
Yeah. Now we're on to the NFC. So we have the Rams going into Seattle. And we have, let me check, the Eagles going into Chicago.
I don't like picking either of these. No. Let's start with the Seahawks and Rams. That's going to be a heck of a game.
And is it finally going to be Sam Darnold's year? It's hard to know. It's hard to know because can you really trust him? Another fantasy quarterback of mine who's given me headaches this year.
But their defense is elite. It's unbelievable. Stafford knows how to handle them, though. Stafford threw, I don't know, I think it was like 400 yards against that defense the last time they played. I'm interested to see how they handle them for the third time. It's always interesting to see when a team plays, or when teams play for the third time.
Divisional, too.
Divisional. I just think, I think the Seahawks are going to be too much here, Matthew.
A little bit of rest.
Little bit of rest. They're going to be well prepared. But in saying all of that, like Darnold, we just don't know what he's going to be like in the playoffs now this year. Like we've seen him before, and last year was a bit of a calamity.
But because of last year going into the playoffs, almost as the 1 seed, dropping to the 5th, I think.
5th seed.
Is he going to learn from that? Like he already has learned from it. He got the 1. Is he going to drive on now? And
he
keep
could.
Going?
I really like him. I mean, I love Stafford as well. I'd love to see him win one more.
It might depend on how hard the Panthers play the Rams. If they tire them out, if it goes to overtime, or if it's just push them aside and rest the starters, that could play a factor as well. But what do we think?
My gut is saying Seahawks there.
Yeah, let's go Seahawks.
I think I'm going to go Seahawks.
Sam Darnold gets it done.
Yeah, good for him.
Now, the Eagles, also kind of a cold weather team going into an even colder weather, maybe, in Chicago.
Yeah.
Do I trust Caleb against the well-oiled machine of the Eagles? I really don't know.
When you put it that way, it feels like a no-brainer. The Eagles are going to win that.
Yeah, I don't know if the Bears can pull it off. I just don't know if they have the
year 2 quarterback
momentum.
Now Caleb could surprise us all and get into the playoffs and just become a superstar.
Yeah, what's his name?
Patrick
Last
Mahomes?
year for the Commanders.
Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, yeah. He got to the
conference championship game.
So it can be done
against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I just think the Eagles are going to be too much. Too much confidence, too much experience. Yeah. We've got a reigning Super Bowl champion. It's hard to get to 2 in a row, but I don't think they're going to get knocked off in the divisional round. I think the Eagles make it.
So we have an all-birds matchup in the conference championship.
That's right.
Seahawks, Eagles. Will we just dive in there?
Let's just dive in. Seahawks, Eagles.
What should we think? So the Eagles are going into Seattle.
Everything that I just said about the last matchup should stay the same. That the Eagles have more experience. I guess they're the champions. And they've got more... I know we've got JSN on one side for the Seahawks, but I think that the Eagles just have so much firepower on the offense. But all of that being said, I still think the Seahawks are going to win that game because defense is too elite. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a game changer. And as long as Sam Darnold doesn't go pumpkin mode, as our friends on First Things First say.
Yeah. I reckon they'll do it. I reckon we haven't really had I suppose at that stage it might not be an upset, but we haven't really had an upset.
Not a huge
in our
upset,
bracket, anyways. Not a huge one. So let's do it. Bold prediction.
Yeah,
Seahawks go to the Super Bowl.
Are going to the Super Bowl. And let's see who's joining them there. We've got the AFC Championship game, which is the Jags versus the Broncos, which is going to be a revenge game for the Broncos. When the Jags came into Denver the last time, we were rolling. Yeah. And I think we were on 11 straight, or was it 12? I can't remember.
I think it was 11, and
they cleaned us.
Well, we were kind of there or thereabouts, and then they pulled one score ahead, and then it was like 10 points ahead, and then you're still there or thereabouts, and then towards the end it kind of pulled off. So I think it was closer than it looked.
But I don't think giving Vance Joseph a second attempt at their offense, like a second, go at defending them.
And we're going to be at home again.
I'm not saying
it's going to be maybe colder than the last time.
Yeah, I'm not saying we wiped them out, but I think we give them a better clip this time. And I think if you're going to trust somebody late in a game, and it's going to be a one-score game, who are you picking? The guy that's won like 10 one-score games this season. He's come back 11 times. I think Bo Nix he's got it. And I know this sounds so biased. I'm holding a Broncos ball. We're sitting in our house here. We've got our Broncos jerseys over here. I know it sounds so biased, but I do think the Broncos have enough on defense. I mean, it's literally number 1 or number 2 defense.
Well, even though Bo Nix has been up and down, he's been pretty bad when he's been bad, but he's been amazing when he's been good.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for those games.
I still think Trevor Lawrence has some mistakes in his locker.
Yeah.
His addiction to fumbling is going to come back. And it hasn't been around for a while, and I think it's going to come back.
Nick Bonito is going to come off the edge. I can see it, just like Von Miller, and he's going to get a strip sack.
But I do think this Apple Watch is going to be, my heart BPM is going to be through the roof for a little bit, because the Jags will pull ahead during that game.
Oh, it wouldn't be a Broncos game if they weren't losing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think they'll be losing at the start of the fourth quarter, and we'll pull it off. And we'll head to the Super Bowl for not really a rematch. I suppose it could be a rematch against the Seahawks. We had a
Super Bowl 48 rematch.
Pretty bad time against them the last time.
And are we predicting the Super Bowl now?
Yeah. How are we going to pick the Seahawks?
We're not picking the Seahawks. It's just when you get to that point, it's like, yeah, here we go.
I think no analysis is needed. Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl. Am I making an executive decision?
Executive decision, I'll agree.
Gardiner Brother, executive decision. Broncos. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to have it all for that whole way. You know?
But Bo Nix will.
But
we have absolutely no reason to believe it, but he will.
No. But we believe it.
We believe.
And we have Sean Payton, Vance Joseph, that defense behind us.
We've got a few guys trying to prove something. Garrett Bowles, that man has been at the Broncos a long time. I don't know if anyone knows him. He had this quote a few years ago about just being sick of losing, and that his whole time in Denver has been about losing. And I think he just won Pass Protector of the Year, which he deserves. And I think it's time for him to get a ring.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's getting emotional over here. The Broncos are winning the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so now you've seen our deep analysis side of it and our unbiased side. Now we're going to just show you what we did with our beats and the feet predicting the scores or the games.
Which could end up being more accurate anyways.
It could genuinely be more accurate than what we think. So
we only did the wild card round though, but we will be adding on.
Yeah, because on our Instagram and TikTok, we're going to be doing each round each week. We're going to let the feet decide.
Yeah.
And who knows, we might go, which one is going to be 6-0? One of them is going to be 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, why not make as many predictions as possible? One of them is going to be right.
Exactly. So, between the two of them, we'll have a 6-0 weekend.
Yeah.
And we're excited for the weekend, the wildcard weekend. I know they're not playing this week, but go Broncos. Yeah. And we can't wait to see what happens. Let's go. Let's have an amazing playoffs. I'm going to be doing the NFC. Matthew's doing the AFC. Here we go. First round in the AFC, Texans, Steelers.
I think Steelers.
Okay, I'm going to need to see 2 triples and a shuffle.
Missed it.
Texans are going through. Okay, next game, Bills and Jags. Who do you think?
I think Josh Allen has a great game, but I think it's the Jags here to beat them.
Here we go. We're going to need to see 2 shuffles and a wing. Oh!
Clean.
Jags are going straight through. I think that's a blowout. Okay, last matchup in the AFC for the wild card weekend is the Chargers and Patriots. Who do you think is going to win?
Two big rivals of our Broncos, but Patriots.
Okay, well, I want to see 2 heel rolls and a shuffle bang. That was clean. That's good. I feel like that's going to be a tight game, but it looks like the Patriots are going to win.
Okay, NFC time, Michael. First round, Rams, Panthers. Who do you think?
Easy, Rams.
Okay, well, in order for them to go through, heel spin, twisty, and a triple.
Here we go.
Oh, saved it. Maybe overtime win. We'll go with that.
I did a little extra there.
Okay, next matchup, 49ers, Eagles. Who you got?
49ers.
Okay, well, treble bang, Billy bump, treble toe. Oh, very good. So who's that? Eagles? Or who did you say? 49ers. 49ers are through. Okay, Packers and Bears. Some people are picking the Packers as an upset here.
Bears.
Bears. Okay, you're going to do a lula, treble bang, treble cut, and a quad click.
Oh my
Oh, I counted 3 clicks.
I missed it.
So Packers are through. Okay, so that's wildcard weekend wrapped up. We have the Packers going up to Seattle, and we have the Rams playing the 49ers.
And in the AFC, we have a defensive matchup of the Texans and Broncos, and we also have the Jags and Patriots. So that's going to be one heck of a weekend. Come back next week to check out our predictions for divisional round weekend. Excited for that one.